Sagittarius Collective, welcome, welcome. I am Nikki, your local vegan tarotist, and we are going to do a reading for your twin flame connection and where both of you are at currently. So, we'll read for the masculine, we'll read for the feminine, we'll read for the mutual energy, and then we'll pull a number and a color, give you a little bit of signs, synchronicities, confirmations, hopefully, and then we'll pull from, or we'll look for something to do with your chakras. See if there's any advice in there. There's a little poetry and stuff. So, but it will speak about maybe work that needs to be done, right? Advice to lock this union in, baby. Yeah. Somebody wants to get married. Hierophant here. They want to lock this down. All right, calm down. Calm down, masculines. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Fuck this. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, your blessings are coming in hot, heavy, fast. Okay, well, we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is slow. The King of Swords, which is usually very methodical and discerning. And then the Six of Wands, which is also kind of a slow energy. So this masculine has been methodically, this is Sagittarius energy here. Not the Knight of Pentacles, but the King of Swords and the Six of Wands. That fire and air. This is a very masculine person here. Strength. Could be a Leo or have strong Leo placements. But the Leo's representing is the feminine over here, and the masculine Knight and Six of Wands are facing her. Ooh, yeah. There's Temperance energy. This feminine is very nurturing. You could be dealing with an earth sign because, okay, mutable signs, their modality, them as a modality is water and air. It's the masculine and feminine, androgynous, ambiguous, more ambiguous, interchangeable aspects of the masculine and feminine elements, right? Swords being more masculine leaning, water being more feminine leaning. Earth is the most distinctly feminine of the elements. Fire is the most distinctly masculine. So Sagittarius, as a mutable fire sign, is air, water, and fire as its leader, right? And here it's presenting as fire, air, and earth. So I feel like there's a masculine that's kind of shifted out of their natural way of doing things to approach a feminine. So that's why I'm thinking that you could be dealing with an earth sign or a fixed sign. Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius. Strength here is Leo, so. And then the Empress is Libra and Taurus. So, yeah, this masculine is... And the Emperor is the boss of the zodiac. He's not going to just approach anybody. All right, he doesn't chase. He absolutely does not chase, and he's barely going to pursue anything. He'll go after what he wants, but he's not going to pursue feminines unless it's an Empress. He knows what he wants. King of Swords is somebody who knows what they know their thoughts. That might sound like an obvious thing, like we should all know our thoughts, but how many of us really know our thoughts? This is somebody who knows their thoughts. It's a highly intellectual person, very logical. Five of Swords. And this feminine saying, fuck all of that, because love is not logical, you idiot. The Five of Swords. There could have been harsh words between you two. Because this masculine is not presenting with any water energy, which is connection, it's love, it's emotions. And King of Swords is someone who's kind of up in their head, but they might be right, but would you rather be right or would you rather understand your person, masculines? feels like a neurotic masculine. And there's the Tower. Yeah, this feminine is this masculine's Tower. They're really challenging them. We have the Six of Wands. Ooh, Three of Swords. Okay, so Six of Wands is like self-recognition. It's more Leo energy. It can be a little bit egocentric. Like, look at all this attention on me. This masculine could be very, very attractive. I was going to say handsome. But again, with the androgyny here, right? This could be a female that is in there, that's actually the divine masculine, and the male is the divine feminine. It could be same sex, right? There's something sort of ambiguous about this masculine energy, which is confusing. And that's very Sagittarius, right? Because you guys are like, ping, 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 ping. I gotta be everywhere and learn new things, and you're curious about everything. You have a very jovial sense of exploration. But the Three of Swords here is like, there. I think this masculine, you may have like kind of have to eat your words here. This could also be, right, so this is the shadow aspect of what I'm seeing here, is that the masculine could have said something very cutting or lacking an emotional acknowledgement, right? Maybe the feminine expressed something. And because this feminine is presenting as the Empress with strength behind her, it's like this masculine maybe thought like, I thought she could take it, or like I didn't think that she would be offended. Like, she doesn't present as very emotional either. And I say she as the Empress, so you can take the gender however you take it. There's no gender in tarot, right? Well, there can be. if the person that you're reading for, but because this is a collective reading, I'm not reading for just one person. So yeah, somebody could be a little bit selfish here. There could be someone who was a little bit selfish and a little bit maybe self-absorbed, self-centered, self-righteous. I'm getting some kind of, sorry to dog on you masculines, but I'm just getting this energy that for some of you, that could have been the thing that disappointed this connection, right? Three of Swords is disappointment. It was like a self-deception, like, oh, look at me, I'm so attractive. And this masculine, again, could have been in their feminine energy of receiving. They usually like a Leo, because Leos are so attractive. We all orbit the sun, right? Or depending on what you believe. But we all orbit the sun. The center of our solar system is the sun, right? So Leos typically get a lot of attention, just naturally. If you have strong Leo placements, you know. If you know, you know. And so this person's used to that. They're used to getting all kinds of, and I think this feminine was kind of like, yeah, okay. Like, all right. And that may have disappointed the masculine. Now, the other thing is that, yes, this masculine doing the work from having experienced disappointments and people that were maybe cutting to them, maybe people that disregarded their feelings, they kind of got into this place of like, oh, I'm not fazed by anything. Maybe you got into a little bit more of a superficial energy because they're like, I'm not going into cups ever again. Well, you about to. Well, you might not be about to. Free will. Oh, well, maybe you are. Yeah, because we got the Emperor and the, this is like the Queen of Swords. It's the Ace of Swords. This feminine is like, ooh, holding their ground. So there could be, you could be in separation from your person. Could have been words said or not said. And somebody's kind of like, haha, I said what I said. Like a know-it-all. Maybe somebody's kind of like presents as a know-it-all. Because, and that's the thing about Sagittarius, is the spirit of Sagittarius is like that curiosity. It's like this masculine stopped being curious. This feminine is making them curious. About all kinds of stuff. About themselves, about life. Temperance. There you are, presenting in your own reading. Don't you love when that happens? The Emperor and the Empress and the Page of Cups. Yeah, this masculine is immature in love. And I don't think that that's necessarily because they are, they just don't know how. They don't have the tools. They were never given the tools. They were loved conditionally. Growing up, they were told what they should be, what they shouldn't be, what they should say, not say. And maybe I'm getting this masculine, and I'm reading for the feminine, so this could resonate with you feminines as well. You could be very similar in this way. You could have been very introverted as children, because anytime you left your little bubble, anytime that you went out of your room, anytime that you tried to interact with other people, you weren't accepted. And maybe this began in your household, and so you were just kind of you tapped into your imagination. Maybe you read a lot, played video games, listened to music, wrote. You were in your room. I feel like you were always kind of reading Rainbow. I'm getting reading Rainbow because it's like you had to imagine a world and that was different than the one that you were in, or you weren't going to make it. So there's a very heavy energy in one of your pasts, or both of your pasts, and maybe that's something that's why you're going to be, it's going to feel like such a trigger when you guys come together, is because it's like you came from being completely misunderstood and ostracized and minimized. That's a specific word. You were made to feel small. And so it's like once you got this power, this self-recognition, you started giving yourself love, and you believed in yourself because you had to imagine a world where you could believe in yourself. It's kind of made you a little bit more, like you had to be very self-reliant and all of these things, hyper-independence. And so you're kind of maybe presenting as a know-it-all, or like too tough feminines, because you're both presenting as the Emperor and the Empress, but you're not looking at each other. There's temperance here, so there's a big hit to your ego here, and I feel like it's some sort of conversation, some sort of exchange where the masculine was like, I'm not going to express that part of me ever again, because every time I have, it's been shut down. And there's something about the Sword and the Stone, the most unexpected person. So feminines, you might be looking at this masculine, there could be an age difference with the Page of Cups, but you could be looking at this masculine like, they could never love me. They don't have the capacity to love me. They just can't do it. And I feel like it's the person you expect least, because there's a disguise here. This is someone in a fish outfit. I mean, you could be dealing with a Pisces, but this is somebody who's like, I think see how this little light is coming out of the fish's mouth? Those angler fish, it's like, it's in the deep, darkest place that there is this light. And it's so attractive. So maybe this is not somebody who you would normally be attracted to physically. But once, or if they are very attractive like before, it's like, that's not the most attractive thing about them. This exterior thing, it's like, okay, yeah, it's a fish. I want that light, I want to get down to the bottom of this. There's a lot of emotional depth in this masculine, and I think that's going to be very unexpected for you, feminines. The Hierophant could be dealing with a Taurus or a Cancer. Or you could have been married to a Cancer, and that was dissatisfying. Ooh. Tower in both of your spreads. So Scorpionic energy, Mars, Aries, right? This is war. That movie Words and Pictures. You might both have quite an imagination, and you're both very your IQ, your EQ, and your MQ, your moral quotient, your emotional quotient, and your intellectual, your intelligence quotient. Can you tell what my score would be? They're all matching, right? But that feels like a surprise. That feels like something that is unexpected because, and that's that tower, that unexpected thing. It feels like, oh shit, I didn't think anyone would ever understand me. A lot of telepathic communication here. I get this, okay, like if the 5D is like a scene in a movie where people are in some sort of busy environment, going around a lot of corners and stuff, and they're on the phone, they're talking to someone, they're in their ear, and they're like, where are you? Are you by the person in the blue shirt? You know, and you're like trying to find each other. And then once you come around this corner and you see each other, it's like, also the movie Elizabethtown, they're on the phone all night. You might have very long conversations with this person, and there could be a distance here, physical distance. Or maybe somebody travels for work, maybe somebody has to be away for work, but there's this sense of you both like meeting up when the sun rises, and it's like, we peaked on the phone, you know, that I don't remember what Orlando Bloom is. Kirsten Dunst, is she a Virgo? Anyway, but they talk all night, and then they meet up, and they're like, all right, we peaked, you know, like, let's just hang out. But there's like a lot of talking in the 5D, and maybe when you come together, you can just sit in silence. You know what the other's thinking. You can read their body language. You can read their energy, their pheromones, their aura. It's like you feel you have the Midas touch. Maybe physical touch is your love language. So you'll express yourself in body language. You can read your gestures, your micro expressions. This King of Swords is someone who's very analytical. So I feel like maybe you've done some kind of work in that area where you've had to analyze things like that. I mean, even in security, like if you have a security job, a military job, anything where you have to kind of like protect an area, or if you have children, or if you've worked around kids, maybe you're a teacher or something like that. King of Swords can be in like law enforcement or like a government job. Like it's, you've had to monitor things around you. You could have been the eldest child, and so maybe you just monitored things like that. And so you weren't able to be that childish, but there is a child within you. So someone needs to be reminded of that. So yeah, I get the sense that you will just sort of be in each other's space, share space very well. And you don't have to talk all the time, you know, because you're doing it here. You're linked in. All right, the mutual energy. Is this upside down? It is upside down. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the upright. 6 of Cups. Again, I feel like you felt like this was never going to come in. One or both of you is like, is this ever going to happen? Queen of Wands. Page of Cups again. Yeah. And the Queen of Cups. Okay, so we have, I mean, we have the Emperor and the Empress, so we have all the Queens and Kings, but there is the Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands. So there could be some sort of choice between the feminine, or the feminine, again, is presenting as this Queen of Wands. She's presenting as strength, and Leo, the Empress, like this very powerful, impervious, that's the word I'm getting, impervious, like, but then she's got this Queen of Cups behind her, and that's like the secretive energy here, is this Cups. So maybe the silence is like, maybe you work together, or you share some sort of friend group, and I do this because I feel like it's maybe not friends. We got the Empress again, and the 4 of Wands, 11-11. Yeah, this is, you're going to come together, but it might be a secret at first for whatever reason. Or maybe you both are just very private and you don't talk about your situation. But, and there might not be like a distinct discussion about what this is, because you both just know. You just know. The Empress has come out in 3 decks. So, yeah. Libra, Taurus energy. Let's see one more here. Wow. Yeah, this feels kind of cut and dry. Because I got it done in 20 minutes. Well, that part of the reading. Okay, all the crop cards just came out. Crop, 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 crop. Okay, 4, 4, 4. That could be something. We have 2. You could be life path 4 or 2. Everlasting elderberry. Obtain wisdom from the ages past. All right, so this is tapping into your ancestors, your spirit team, meditation, and maybe you have somebody around you that gives you really good advice, a mentor or somebody that you can go to that maybe this masculine is going to talk to somebody about how to approach the feminine. Burly broccoli. Yeah, okay, this feels like drop the act. You don't come in tough. Masculines, your tip here, come in like this. We present to the gates of heaven like a child. Like, come to me as a child. That's what the divine says. So this is your divine counterpart. So if you're going to approach, you approach your divine counterpart like you approach God. Whatever concept you have of God or the divine, that's how you approach this love. You have to approach it innocent. The movie Lady in the Water. So a lot of water energy here on the feminine side, the Queen of Cups. And this sort of like, there's just a lot of water here. There's a lot of depth here. The connection between you two is really intense and heavy, but in a great way. It's not a burden. It's depth. It's substance. Oh, it's like you've been snacking your whole life, and this is the first home-cooked meal you've ever eaten. This person, you got it. But there's like this facade, this burly broccoli, like drop it or whatever. Lady in the Water, he's trying to get information about this story. He's so this is Page of Swords to me, right? This is somebody who's gathering information, a masculine who's gathering information about this water elementalist feminine, right? Because you're the Empress and the Emperor. You got all the kings and queens, all the modalities, all the elements, masculine and feminine energy. You got all the ingredients, same ingredients, different recipes, all of us. Anyway, so he's just, I feel like somebody might be getting stuck on like, well, what's their sign? So that might mean that you have multiple people and you're like, just tell me the name of my soulmate, you know. It's like, it doesn't work that way. It's a frequency. It's not about the vessel anyway. But anyway, he is in the vessel. So there's a wealth of creation here in this union, and this masculine really sees a lot of that in this feminine. They want to create. I feel like they want to drop a seed. So you may have children with this person, a child or children, if you want that. If not, if you don't want to procreate, you're going to co-create. Either way, there's some sort of egg that's going to hatch, seed that's going to crack open and bloom everlasting wealth and abundance and love and all those good things, right? So anyway, the movie masculine, he's going around and he's trying to get information about this woman, and this, you know, nymph. She's a sea nymph, and she's here with a message. And this elderly woman, right, this everlasting elderberry, has all the wisdom, and her daughter is like, she needs to see you as a child. So he drinks milk and he leaves it on his mustache. He goes to wipe it away, and the daughter's like, no. He leaves it, and then he like lays down on the couch, and he kind of like, you know, like does this with his feet or whatever. He's like, so more about the story, you know. And so I just feel like there's this sort of need to just approach this innocently. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. You're going to grow old together, but you grow old together with somebody that you can stay young with. Cautious Kale. A hyper aversion to the unknown, side effect, no friends. And maybe that you're like, oh, I don't have any friends my age, but you have friends. You have people around you. So there's something about longevity here. Both of these are longevity with the pentacles. There could be a very specifically, like you might go, well, I won't have anybody on my side at the wedding, right? That kind of thing. So maybe one of you has a large friend circle or family and the other doesn't. And so, yeah, you're going to be absorbed into this person's circle. This is your tribe that you've been looking for. You're going to be absorbed. So don't look at your lack of people as anything, because these have always been your people, because this has always been your person, and this person is linking you up with these people. It's like the missing link, right? All right, strength again and speed. Strength not in tarot in this. Strength 242, 122, 224, 422. So maybe those numbers you're seeing a lot, 444 and 2, right? Bulk up big and green. And with strength, the cautious, the burly broccoli, prompt pumpkin, it's the fool. Just get out of your head, drop the bullshit, drop the facade, and come in. Prompt pumpkin tells me it's right on time. It's time to harvest this. Y'all are freaks. I just got like, I'm gonna carve that pumpkin. Always arrive. You're making me blush, Sagittarius. Hey baby, you might be dealing with a Libra. Libras are freaks too. You could be a cusper. You or your person could be a cusper. But it's like and then Gemini. Maybe something with Gemini. One of you might have a twin. But this is your twin, obviously. Always arrive on time, warning, must be home by midnight. See that sense of like staying up all night. Maybe you go to work the next day after, or you have to be somewhere, and so maybe you have to pull apart from being together and you really don't want to. It's like, I have to go though. And if there are kids involved, there could be kids from a previous connection. There could be some sort of responsibilities or something that you have to tend to. Could be taking care of a family member, or you just already made plans and you meet this person spontaneously. You interact spontaneously with the tower. It's unexpected, and it's like, oh, I have to go, but and that also gives maybe like Cinderella, like you met and you didn't have time to exchange information or anything like that, and so that Page of Swords could also be like, oh, how do I find them? Where are they? Also with the fish in the water. My favorite movie, Big Fish. It's like the masculine, and he is a Sagittarius, Ewan McGregor. Oh, is he ever? And he's gathering all of this information to find her. He didn't get a chance. Like, it sped away. She ran away. You know, they say when you meet the love of your life, time slows down and stops, right? Like it. And there was this moment, it's like love at first sight. And these are all crops. Maybe something about a crop top. Crop top. Crop also is like photos, so something about social media. Someone could be a photographer, like to take pictures. Oh, what is that from? That's all about timing. That's like past life, soulmates. Kate and Leopold. So again, more Leo energy. Kate and Leopold. And he is a Libra. Hugh Jackman is a Libra. Maybe again more Gemini energy, because Jack is a Gemini here. My dog. But he's, you know, he travels to the future. There's time travel, something about time, and it's the pressures of time. We have to come back together, but there's a photo, and this is very specific, but this could be like a masculine taking photos, And then, it sounds a little bit weird, but it's like somebody could be searching through photos or have taken a photo and they're like, that's the feminine, that's the girl, where is this, where were you, you know, like, how do I find her? And so it could be something like from a past interaction. Also the Lake House, Virgo and Leo, Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, that's all about like different timelines. They're writing letters, and that could be different timelines because you could be in different time zones, right? Maybe you're not like into all of that woo stuff. You could just be literally in different time zones, and so there's a time difference. Have to be like I have to go at midnight. It's like I gotta get off the phone here. I get this sense of like, oh, I gotta go to work. But even if you are completely exhausted after this super long conversation and interaction, or if it's very fleeting, either way, it's like there's something so invigorating about it. You're just kind of in a daze the next day, and it's very dreamy, and you're like, you know, in Big Fish, he's scrubbing the elephant man or whatever, you know, the baby man or whatever, the big guy. He's like bathing him in a tub, and there's like an elephant, maybe something with elephants. Maybe comment with your favorite animal. And your favorite animal represents how you see yourself. So it's your favorite animal, something with that possibly. At a zoo, yeah, like your friends, it's like you could be taking family photos and then your person's in the background. I don't know why I keep getting that because it's so specific, but that's gonna resonate for somebody because it keeps coming up. This image of like seeing somebody in a crowd and it's like, there they are, and then you're chasing them. There's like this, you know, chasing them down the stairs, and you miss them. There's some kind of like, you miss them, you just miss them, and maybe you'll discover that you both have been kind of like in the same places, in the same area for a while, and you just keep missing each other. And maybe you continuously run into each other because you are in the same area, right? And you're like, everywhere? Like, really? I mean, I get it, maybe it's a small town, but everywhere? You know, like, it's just too weird. It's too cool, very synchronistic, very woo. So those of you who have an aversion to woo are about to get it anyway. It's gonna make us a believer out of you skeptics. So let's pull a number, a color for signs and synchronicities. Confirmations. Number 2. This is the union, partnership, coming together, conversation, the exchange. It's also a number of choices. You're the first one to be different here. The first one to be different. I feel like that's another message for your connection, right? Is like you're different. You're different. There's nobody like you. Nobody like you. We express the power of our throat center through communication that is caring or critical, right? That's unconditional. To truly unconditionally love someone, your best friends are the ones that hold you accountable for your truth, right? Not for their truth, for your truth. So whatever you say is what you want out of life. You know, these are friends who are probably going to be like, I thought you didn't want to date somebody with kids, or I thought you didn't want to date somebody who was younger than you, or I thought you didn't want to date a smoker. Like, those are kind of specific things, but they're going to hold you accountable. It's like, you said you wanted someone who was honest, and this person's lying to you. Are you going to keep taking that? And it might be like, damn, that was harsh. But it's true. You have really honest, somebody has really honest, solid people around them. And that might be a trigger for the other one of you that doesn't have that. But the throat chakra is all about creating. It's the magician. It's Gemini, Virgo, and Taurus energy. Think of yourself at all times as an energy being as well as a physical one, right? And I think that speaks to the vessel doesn't really matter. It's, yes, you're a terrestrial being, but you're a celestial body. You're a celestial entity in a terrestrial body. And so it's more honoring how masterful and how powerful you actually are as a creator. So you're one of a kind, and your person's one of a kind, and you're just the right kind for each other. Arteries and veins, something with the medical world. The medical world. A whole new world. Be yourself. Oh gosh. Ooh, and then throat chakra again. 4. The number 4. When you are ready, move your right hand to an inch in front of your throat chakra, at the base of your neck. Visualize the disc of dazzling white fire activating your throat chakra as you rotate your right hand in a clockwise direction. See and feel the 16 petal chakra an intense see and feel the 16 petal chakra an intense blue as it is energized, purified, balanced, and healed. And this is what we're visualizing here. Sealing your chakras. Yeah. So some visualization techniques, maybe look into other ones. This is just one, but visualization techniques to bring forth this truth. To bring forth your truth, because only when you speak your truth can you attract what is true for you. Ooh. All right. And this person's your truth. This love is your truth. Okay. You got the longest one here, Sagittarius. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for just tuning in. Tuning in. There's something about a radio tuning in. All right, that will take me on a whole other tangent. So I hope there was something in here for you, Sagittarius. And until next time, I wish you well.